Welcome to JMR Talks. Today we will discuss about how to build a healthy feedback culture. We all know that feedback is very important. Employees need to know how they are performing and they need to receive suggestions so that they can make necessary what called improvements. Now what is feedback? Feedback is nothing but giving helpful information or criticism on the prior action or behavior. Now, why we need to give helpful information or criticism about an action which has taken place, so that people can make necessary adjustments and what call improve. So, feedback is an opportunity to listen, to absorb the suggestions, and act upon that, so that one can put improved performance. That's fine. What do you mean by healthy feedback culture? Because we know that without feedback, an employee is ignorant of his contribution. It's like a blind man walking in a what I call a beautiful garden, unable to appreciate the beauty of the what I call flowers. If the employee receives a regular feedback about how he is doing, he can definitely what I call make improvements to what I call to his work. Earlier, the annual ritual, employees were used to be asked about something what they have done last year, and pointing out some inadequacies, etc. But what is an employee can do, because that has happened what last year. That's how people started talking about continuous feedback, periodical feedback, constructive feedback, so that when an employee receives feedback on a continuous basis, he knows where he exactly what erring, and he can make what necessary improvements. Fine. So there is a need for giving a healthy feedback or a healthy feedback culture. Now, what do we mean by healthy feedback culture? Healthy feedback culture refers to a situation where people are encouraged to provide and receive feedback in a constructive and respectful manner. That means you're not finding fault with the person, you're finding fault with the person's behavior in a particular context. And moreover, the feedback is being given in a constructive way. That means with an intention to help the employee to what I call improve. So in a healthy feedback culture, we value open communication, continuous improvement, and personal growth. Feedback is a means to help develop one's skills, employee performance, and achieve goals. Fine. Tony Gamble, he mentions about what are called two myths and two truths about creating healthy feedback culture in one of his what are called LinkedIn posts. Let's have a look at that. Myth one: encouraging employee to give what are called more feedback. But one must remember that employees are equally anxious offering negative feedback as they do when receiving the feedback. So in reality, what needs to be done? You should encourage the employee to regularly ask for feedback. This is an essential component of creating a healthy feedback culture. So you encourage and equip employee for meaningful feedback. Now, when you encourage what I call people to give meaningful feedback, that helps you to what I call improve yourself also. But let me caution you that seeking feedback is challenging and risky also. So leaders in general and managers in particular need to create an environment where people can give feedback and what I call ask for the feedback also. Tony Gamble suggests what I call four steps for effective feedback. Number one, what I call introduce. Now what is that what I call needs to done? You are talking to the employee that okay, I wish to what I call discuss about something about performance, and would like to know how you feel about that. Then once the introduction is over, you're introducing about the feedback, then you what I call try to understand his perspective. Now how do you feel about performance, what sort of say, changes you plan to what I call this thing and all. Third, generate solution. How the employee would like to what I call move forward for making necessary corrections in his performance, etc. And the last one, agree on a what I call shared what I call solutions as such. Myth number two: Accurately telling how they can improve is the most important feedback skill. So that you are trying to what you call develop the people and making them change to what you call improve. But the truth is, we should ask what you call questions and listens. Asking questions and listening to the employee is the most important feedback skill, because these questions and what you call active listening will give insights into how best to what you call define and decode what you call meaningful feedback that will allow you to what you call uncover insights, perspectives, and what you call challenges. All this is fine here, but how to build a healthy feedback culture? A healthy feedback culture which rests on what called three dimensions: trust, respect, and psychological safety. Number one, open and honest communication. Let's create an environment where people without any fear of retribution can express their thoughts and share their opinions. Second, provide regular feedback. Let the feedback not be what I call an annual ritual. Let it be a regular part of what I call our work. Encourage ongoing what I call feedback. Don't what I call rest purely on formal performance evaluation. Foster a culture of continuous what I call improvement. Give feedback, receive feedback, and focus on what I call continuous improvement. In fact, I keep repeating that improving is one soft skill that has been what I call ignored or not emphasized much earlier. Third, focus on specific behaviors and actions. While sharing the feedback, let's avoid generalizations or personal attacks. We are not trying to find fault with the person. We are trying to find fault with person's behavior in a particular context. And that also with a view to what will help the employee to improve. Fourth, use the sandwich approach. Apart from sharing the feedback, try to reinforce that positive behavior on the part of the employee. I personally feel that the managers should not hesitate to share negative feedback along with the what I call positive feedback. Managers feel that sharing negative feedback, they might not what I call stand high in the employee's view. I suggest a ratio of 3 is to 2. You start with sharing positive feedback three times and then share what I call negative feedback. People don't mind it. Next, active listening. Give an opportunity to the employees to express their views, their opinions. Next, lead by examples. Be it the leaders or the what I call managers. They need to exhibit the desired behavior. Let the employees see, appreciate, understand that feedback is seen as a valuable and not one-way process. It's not that you are interested only in giving feedback about the employee performance. You are also interested to regularly seek feedback from the employees, how they are overall feeling, what kind of support they require, what kind of logistic support they require to improve their performance. Next, foster a learning mindset. Obsolete technology is dangerous, but obsolete human resources is disastrous. But let the mindset be not used to criticize or judge, but to support the personal and professional growth. When we are receiving the feedback or when we are giving the feedback, let the focus be on giving support to the employee for his personal and professional growth. Next, providing training and resources. Seminars, conferences. Overall, if we are trying to create healthy feedback culture, let's remember one thing. It takes time and effort. the leaders in general, managers in particular, need to put up regular efforts for consistent reinforcement. Without leaders' support, you cannot create a healthy feedback culture. A culture wherein people regularly ask for feedback and you know seek feedback for improving. In fact, in one of the latest research, 62% of the respondents, they said they want what we call more feedback, and 83% of the respondents, they appreciated the feedback, and 96% significantly, they said ongoing feedback is necessary. If you are giving the feedback once in a while, maybe at the end of the year, for the last financial year, somewhere in the month of June, if you are giving the feedback, the employee doesn't have any opportunity, to make corrections, what to improve. If the feedback is an ongoing, exercise, managers regularly holding conversations with their employees, how they are doing, and simultaneously what I call sharing for suggestions and extending required support, so as to enable them to what I call, put up improved performance, the desired results, what I call will come. Hope leaders in general, managers in particular, pay attention to build a healthy feedback culture, which is a sine qua non for improved growth of the organization as well as employees. Thank you.